The air at the construction site trembled with noise, hammers striking steel, engines roaring, and shouts bouncing off half-built walls. In the midst of all that chaos stood a man who didn't belong there. Not really. His navy blue suit looked far too clean, his polished shoes too perfect for the dust swirling around. That man was Richard Halden, a name that echoed through the city's skyline. A millionaire developer, known for turning empty lots into towering monuments of glass and ambition. But that afternoon, under the glare of the sun, something inside him shifted. His confident stride slowed. His gaze locked onto a figure among the workers, and suddenly, the whole world seemed to blur. Kneeling in the dirt, struggling to lift a sack of cement, almost as heavy as she was a young woman. Her hair had slipped loose from a bun, her face streaked with sweat and dust. Yet, it wasn't her struggle that made Richard stop breathing. It was her face. For a brief, unbelievable moment, he saw her. The daughter he had lost 7 years ago, the one he buried along with his heart after a tragic car crash. If you believe in kindness, in miracles that quietly find their way back into our lives, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, where love never truly disappears. Richard couldn't look away. The young worker, her name tag, read Mira, moved with the same grace his daughter once had. The same scar near the brow, the same determined eyes. His chest tightened. It couldn't be, it shouldn't be, but the thought refused to leave him. Day after day, he found himself returning to the site. Watching her, she worked tirelessly, lifting, mixing, helping others without complaint. Even when exhaustion showed on her face, she smiled softly, as if she carried some quiet strength the world could never break. Then came the storm. Clouds rolled in, dark and fast. Workers scattered for shelter, everyone except Mira. She stayed, trying to cover the supplies from the rain. From his car, Richard saw her struggling against the wind, and something inside him snapped. He jumped out, running through the downpour. Together, they pulled a tarp across the equipment, rain pouring over their faces. When their eyes met, time stopped. Those eyes, the same shade of blue, the same spark that once made his heart swell with pride. After the storm, he watched her from afar again. In the small break area, Mira took out an old creased photo from her bag, looked at it, smiled faintly, and tucked it away. That image haunted him all night. He had to know. By morning, his assistant had gathered everything there was to know about her. Mira, age 23, found years ago after a car accident in the mountains. No memory of her past, no known family, no record before that day. Richard's hands shook as he read the report. His heart whispered what his mind couldn't accept. Could it really be her? The next day, he called her into his office. She entered nervously, her eyes downcast, her clothes simple but neat. When he asked about her past, she hesitated. All she remembered, she said, was waking up in a hospital, frightened and alone. Tears filled her eyes as she spoke, and Richard's heart broke for her all over again. He didn't tell her the truth right away. He couldn't, not until he was sure. A DNA test was done quietly, and when the results arrived, his world stopped once more. 99.9% match. Meera was his daughter, alive. Richard dropped to his knees, sobbing for the first time in years. All the walls he had built to survive his grief crumbled to dust. He rushed to the site. When he finally found her, she was serving tea to the workers. He approached, tears in his eyes. She froze, thinking she had done something wrong, until he whispered the truth. He showed her the photos, the documents, the memories. For a long moment, she just stared. Then her hands began to tremble, and finally, she broke, tears streaming down her face as she fell into his arms. Father and daughter, reunited in the middle of the place that had unknowingly brought them together. No one around understood what had happened, but they felt it, the quiet magic of a miracle unfolding before their eyes. In the weeks that followed, Mira moved in with her father. Together, they began piecing together not just their memories, but their hearts. Richard sold one of his biggest projects to start a foundation for orphan children, naming it the Alara Hope Fund, in honor of the daughter he lost, and the miracle he found again. And Mira, standing beside him, made sure no child would ever feel forgotten or unloved again. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, where real stories of love, hope, and second chances remind us that miracles still walk among us. Before you go, tell us in the comments, what would you do if someone you lost suddenly walked back into your life?